Hello YouTube viewers, welcome to my channel Science to Technology. In today's show, Future Friday, we're going to talk about Tesla Cybertruck delivery. So let's dive deep into it. Now, what was promised? Yes, dear, you cannot judge people on what others thinks of them. You have to judge them on what they say. Like if I say I'm going to make a video, 5 times a week, you can judge me on that. You're not going to judge me, oh, he's not making 100 videos a week. That's the whole point. So a radical new design of pickup truck. Basically, Elon Musk's whole point was that for 100 years, we have kind of narrowed down what a pickup truck should be, and that's all pickup truck are. Again, he does not understand convergent evolution, but he's like, we have to redesign it. Okay, awesome. Now this is gonna be the best pickup truck ever. It's gonna bitch slap all other EV truck. Be mindful at this point in time, or when this was being announced, there were three, supposed to reach the market. There were Ford based. F-150 Lightning, I think, Hummer, that was more of a concept vehicle, and Rivian, that was closest to be actually useful and ready to deliver. So they're gonna make all of those puppies look like toys, and this is gonna be the for men truck. And this is gonna have some big ass range. How big ass? You're looking at 500 miles. This is from their video. I'm not making it up. Video linked down below, which they have removed now, or I failed to find it. But trust me, enough people have noticed it that they have downloaded it, so it's available. 500 miles, which translates to, for us people, 800 plus kilometer. Be mindful, there was plus sign there. It was not like maybe or this line. This is bare minimum, bro. 800 kilometer with triple motor setup. Now, like, wait a minute. Why the heck car has 4 wheels and 3 motors? It's a common setup. Many times people do that. It's like you're gonna have, if you do not have very high power motors, you're gonna have 2 of them in rear, 1 of them in front. You get all the benefits without adding too much cost of creating a new motor train and electronics and all that. So tri-motor, it has been used in Tesla itself, so it's not a whoa. It's a normal thing. It's a bit odd because it kind of makes more sense to have 2 big motors rather than 3 motors, but it is what they are. It's a cost optimization thing. So tri-motor, it's gonna be available for $70,000. I'm not talking about the lowest price. I'm talking about the big ass price one. Tri-motor variant, 500 miles and 800 kilometer, 0 to 60 at almost 3 seconds, which is like, whoa, for this sort of heavy electrical truck, whoa. And that's the issue with Hummer also. Hummer electric variant, it chugs because of the inertia itself. It's like powerful. That puppy is powerful as hell, but like, it's just that inertia. Basically, it's like a big ass bulldog. It cannot ever be as fast as a running dog. So all this hassle happened in November 2019. That was 4 years ago. Now, at that time, they started to collect money, and their aim was that they're gonna reach production in 2021. Now, production for real company, like I have bought a car like few years ago, and it was a brand new launch. It was not like pipeline that is working. It was a new launch. Now, we bought it when the production kind of started, and we had to wait quite some time. I think for 1 or 2 months we had to wait so we can get the right color. It happens. Companies, when they say production in a normal car company, it simply means we figured everything out, everything is tested, everything is verified. We are just now ramping up the production. How much we ramp up, that's why we need pre-orders. So that's how normal. And whenever production happens, only logistic is the weak link at that point. Meaning they're gonna collect your order, they're gonna print your puppy, and then they're gonna deliver it to you. It could take few months, worst case scenario, half a year. Now, if you're like, wait a minute, 2021, let's be generous. Let's say half a year or 1 whole year. Yeah, that has passed. That's the whole point. So this was the promise. They're gonna deliver early. They're gonna cost you around $70,000, 0 to 60 at 3 seconds, 800 kilometer range. And this is gonna be awesome. It's gonna have a rotating shutter that's gonna disable your rear view because awesome. So this is the promise. Now, what was delivered? Well, it was delivered with 320 miles of range, which translates to 500 kilometers. And this time, it's not plus. This time is like, hopefully, in optimum scenario, maybe, realistically, no. So, basically, range became half, price became double. So, $122K, $122,000. That's a 2x of price. Now, here's the deal. Price can go up. That's not that big of a like, whoa. But here's the deal. Your performance should not go down. It's like if you're putting your money down for a high performance truck, and truck is like, I'm 500 horsepower, baby. You're like, okay, here's some money, give me that. Now they're like, hey, we're gonna charge you more for that. You're like, but okay, you're gonna give it. But imagine you give them more money, double the money almost, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna give, instead of 500 horsepower, we're gonna give you 250 horsepower. You will fire missiles at them. homing missiles at their ass. That's what Elon Musk did here. And have you noticed why the heck the launch event did not have any lights? Yeah, it was so ugly. They are like, yeah, let's not have lights. And I hate all the reporters that were there. Dude, all of you had mobile phones. Turn on flash in all of them. You can see the full truck. And they're like, ouch. So now, is this a good thing or bad thing? That's up to you. How much is the value? How valuable your time is, basically. For many individuals, it's like, who cares? Like, I have enough time, or this was secondary to the secondary to the secondary. It was just a toy that I wanted to buy. They do not care. But if you wanted to do it work truck, yeah, for those people, they are like, shut up, return my money. So you have to understand. Now, let's dive deeper into it. What about the delivery? They are not delivering yet. And I hate this because this is becoming a trend even in camera industry, where companies announces something, launches something, but buying happens after that. So delivery does not actually mean deliver. Most of the Cybertruck that you are seeing, those are hand-built units, meaning they are still far away from actually just pumping those puppies out in a factories. Like far away. Like their best estimate is it's going to happen in 2024, hopefully this year. And yeah, and here's the deal. The reason why I was focusing on tri-motor variant is that what if you put down money for that low cheap variant of $40,000? Yeah, that's not going to start at 2025. It's not going to even start. They know that they cannot produce this. They do not know how to make this. And they're like, yeah, we're going to, delay it for 2025. So all the models that you are seeing actually physically present is very early batch and all of the premium batch. So double the price, half the actual capacity, delay depending on your life's value, how much a delay is worth to you, that's up to you. And it's not going to be mass produced, meaning you're not going to see thousands of this. You're going to see more Rivian, you're going to see more Ford, you're going to see more, even Hummer. There's a very good chance you're going to see actual more Hummers, even though it was made more of a concept car and more of a we can do this and we're going to make it was like just get the name through the door, and then they're going to develop all the technologies for that Hummer. After that, they're going to make a practical variant, basically a Toyota Tacoma kind of thing. So double the price, half the stuff, and twice the delay. Now, here's the flat out as a truck, it's flat out illegal for many places, especially in EU. The reason is that it does not have pedestrian crumple zone. For example, we humans have been developing cars for 1 century and we have learned something very interesting. Humans suck, meaning we're going to make mistakes. Now, here's the mistakes can also happen from other side. This is a critical understanding that you have to do. You can design a car that's like, this car is awesome, it's never going to cause an accident. Here's the deal, that could be factually true. But here's the deal, what if other driver that is drunk, then what? So people have learned this the hard way, that car accidents and car crashes and pedestrian hits is gonna happen. It's absolute, it's gonna happen. So every country started to introduce some laws that started to slowly, brick by brick, make crumple zone outside also. Meaning the car has a structure that is not touched by from inside or outside. It's basically a floating structure. So you have skin, then you have structure, and then you have inside skin. So from both sides, it's supposed to crumple. So that's why modern cars looks like any accident is just like, is by design, to make sure that, children do not go poof whenever accident happens. Because trust me, people have learned it the hard way. You can never be so safe. So if you have technology that allows you to increase the probability of a pedestrian surviving, it's worth doing it. Every country, including India, has learned it. Now, be mindful, countries that are poor or going from poor to rich have a transition period where we are rich enough to buy cars, but we are not rich enough to afford it. Now, like, wait a minute, what does that mean? That simply means in India, we have very bad view of anything where it crimples. Meaning, we want to be like, I hit the car to a truck. Basically, car should not be harmed in any way, shape or form, even if I die. Like, it happens. It's one of those things that it takes time to understand. And trust me, look into motorsports. You will see bloodbath. It took us years, decades to learn that you have to make the car as disposable, not the person inside it. This is going back to that era. What if the person is disposable? What if we just wham it and the car is fine? Everybody's like orgasming over it because it's an Elon baby. And the person inside is like, I'm dead, bro. So flat out, no pedestrian crumple zone is gonna just yeet pedestrian out of there. Then using thick stainless steel sounds good, but here's the deal. It makes it non-fire safe, meaning again, these are the things that we have learned over 1 century, is that car accidents could create a situation where doors are inaccessible. You can be jammed between two things. What the hell are you gonna do? So fire brigade developed tools like jaws of life. They're gonna cut you out of it. most jaws of the life or fire brigade tools will not be able to cut through this thing in efficient manner. And not to mention, if you really want to cut them efficiently, you have to use oxyacetylene torch, which mind you is fire on a battery vehicle. Yeah, so flat out, most fire brigade department will be like, if this is happening, I'm out. They will not even try to save it. It's like, of course, they will try to, they are human, they're gonna do their best to save it, but they're like, dude, it's almost impossible. So electric fires are hard to put out. Now imagine having a scenario where doors are jammed for whatever reason, which does happen. It could not be the fault of the car itself, but it could be the fault of circumstances. And it's like, it's never gonna tip over. It's like, have you ever seen basically a valley? Have you ever seen a truck with a drunk driver? There is no vehicle that cannot tip over. So flat out, having this sort of stupid idea, like, what if we made it bulletproof? It's like, bulletproof vehicle is very, very dangerous, ludicrously dangerous, and that's why they are generally used in convoys. So you're supposed to have someone who's gonna back you up in case of something bad happens. Specifically presidents, they have backups with extra backups, armed guards. So having a thick stainless steel, that's bad. On top of that, in crash, occupants will be damaged far more than the car. So from outside, it's like awesome, but people will like, yeah, I have very serious neck injury. So it's one of those things that is like, just no. Another aspect, the bulletproof thing. Here again, Elon Musk cannot just shut up. It's like, dude, it's not a bulletproof system. First, you are firing bullets that are way too naked. Like, why the heck your bullets do not have copper covers? Like, I don't even remember when was the last time I was seeing, naked bullets, naked lead bullets. It's like, Tommy gun, who the heck gave them a Tommy gun? Like, how you have that? It's like, dude, if they were smart, they would use, hollow point. Hollow point will shatter very easily, but they're not using hollow point, they're using system. I'm like, dude, imagine an AR series rifle in this. Anything that is supersonic is gonna be like, lol. And you cannot even claim this is bullet resistant because there is no backing layer. We have learned it the hard way that you must have armor, then backing. Even tanks have that. So again, in tank wise, it's insulator from both sides, so you will not see it, but it's there. Trust me. Look into the forum leaks. You're like, oh, that's why that's how they're gonna manage the spalling and all that. So it's flat out illegal in most civilized places, and even in USA, it has certain loopholes to become legal, so to say. See, and again, there are companies that are working, the bonnet becomes instantly unlocked if somebody is falling on it. That few milliseconds of extra buffer space will reduce injury on people, and external airbags. Versus this, what if we just... Then we come to the good thing about humanity, is that there are cracks forming. At this point in time, their stocks are not flying as they used to. Now, everybody who had a common sense and patience knew for a fact that a car company that is not selling 100% of the world's car cannot have world's 100% value. So if all car companies combined was barely $1 trillion, one car company alone in them cannot be 1 trillion. So the value is starting to reach basically close to equal. And every time he opens his mouth during the investor conference, it drops even lower. And be mindful, this is the only reason why Elon Musk has money. So if this line goes below, poof, he has no money. So stocks are no longer flying anymore. Like the amount of investor trust, investor confidence, the amount of money being poured in is slowly starting to reach a point where it's like, it's a cool down state. And again, you can see that, like if you had bought shares in November 2021, yeah, it's a constant downturn for you. So, and more people are getting burnt. And I mean physically. Yes, there was accidents where people were trapped inside and they had to break the glass to get out of there in order to escape a battery fire. And enough people have died. Yes, it is unfortunate. I'm not joking about it. Yes, people have lost their life because of Tesla's self-driving. So flat out, enough people are noticing that trend where it's like, overpromise, never deliver, and new hype. I'll explain this part even further. So more and more people are burning, and Elon Musk in one of the last stock discussions, he did say flat out is that if Tesla does not figure out full self-driving, they're going to be dead. Is that true? Well, yes, because every other car company are expanding their portfolio. Tesla jumped into the portfolio before building the portfolio. They did not have a good electric car that has been tested for 10 years or 30 years. They just had it and they just started to say, it can do this and it can do that, it has self-driving. So other companies like Toyota Tacoma, it took decades to build its legacy. Then they can expand to it. And other same Ford F-150 or Maruti 800 or many other brands, many other car models took decades to build. This company is 20 years old, and from almost 10 years ago, they are like, we're going to have this, like to build a legacy first, build a trust base first. They did not. That's why the full self-driving is very important for them. And the sole reason they are selling is because of the fake promises. It's like, we're going to have self-driving, you can chauffeur your car out. It's like, and everybody forgets, if you chauffeur your car out, not only you're going to increase your tax on the vehicle because it's a commercial vehicle at this point, and you're also going to increase the wear and tear on your car. It's like, cars are not magic. They do have wear and tear, especially on the batteries. So if Tesla does not achieve full self-driving soon, they're going to be dead. Now, who said this? Elon Musk himself. Now, is that factual? Absolutely. If they stretch this puppy to beyond a certain point, be mindful, Mercedes is soon going to launch self-driving, and this is how they're going to ensure confidence in people. Liabilities are theirs. Openly, they are saying it, that if it's accident happens, it's our liability. We're going to take care of it. Again, they will try to, if something bad happens, which it will happen, be mindful. Everybody is expecting one day we're going to have self-driving. No, we're going to have days, slowly cooking it, slowly training it, slowly making it better. So all the drivings that you're seeing and people are, oh, self-driving cars are stuck here. That's supposed to happen. Like, we did not, came into this world as like, I know how to drive, fast and furious, baby. You learned it. Most of the time you messed it up. Then brick by brick, day by day, you learn to improve. Same will happen with AI. I do expect it to take at least 10 more years before it's like, it's more than good enough than 98% of human drivers. So self-driving is very important for Tesla, far more important compared to other car companies, and they have to do it because they started selling based on that. So that's a very, and they cannot do it, flat out they cannot do it. Like, how can I know they cannot do it? First, Elon Musk smoked some dangerous weed and he's got brain damage from it. It's like, what if we removed sonar from it? What if we removed radar from it? What if we solely relied on eyes, man? It's like, we humans, man, we drive on eyes, man. It's like, dude, that's why we have so much accident. We cannot see through it. And you're like, what if he has infrared and all that? None of them. This does not give you absolute data. Your camera cannot give absolute data. Your computer was like, this box is 80 meters away. It cannot give that. It can approximate it, but it cannot give it. LiDAR is like, bro, that puppy is exactly this meter away. Sonar can do that. Radar can do it. The problem with radar is radar cannot see high resolution, meaning it can't see a pole. Maybe it can see a basically a flyover far away. It can do that. Sonar does have a range limitation. So LiDAR is the perfect tool for this. Every company that was serious about this and actually have license and really wants to do it, they know for a fact that they have to do LiDAR. And LiDAR prices are starting to come down because of these companies' continuous use of that. And they are 3 years away from actually having a driving system where people can just trust it. 3 years. Where Elon Musk, what if we removed the things, man? Yeah, man. And you may be like, why the heck he wants to remove it? Well, they're not selling anymore. They're not selling as much as they used to. Now, like, why is that happening? Well, battery range debacle happened very recently. This news article is from 28/7/2023. So yeah, something bad happened. Basically, turns out in people, when they buy a first electric car and the early days, they're very cautious about the range. So if they're like, the range is showing 100 miles, they're barely gonna drive 60 or 70 miles. Now be mindful, most of the time that's what your use cases is. But once people started to get comfortable with their car for 1 year, 2 year, you start to get comfortable with it. Now you're not looking at the range all the time. Now you charge it up, you take the number, you memorize it as like 300 miles, oh, that's like 150 miles, I'm good for it. Once people start to do that, then they noticed it. It's like, I'm not reaching where I need to. And if they are like, hey, long trips, specifically long trips, it's like, hey, my charging times are much longer than anticipated. It's only drained like few percent and I'm taking too long to charge. Turns out the range was algorithmically adjusted. And it was not adjusted linearly. It was like, oh, you drove for like 100 kilometers, your range goes down by 100. Now, of course, I do expect it like 100 should translate to range loss of 110 kilometers if your algorithm is sloppy. But it should not be like you drove 100 kilometers, the range dropped by 300 kilometers. That's what people started to notice. This is what and again, it cannot be made into a lawsuit because somebody smart in Tesla did this. The graph is very linear. So people started complaining. They thought it was a broken bug where it's like, hey, why the heck my range suddenly dropped at around 50% mark. Then they were like, yeah, no, this is expected. This is like almost Apple. So they started pissing on the customer. Now here's a problem with that. Customer have the biggest say in your car company's success because they have what we call word of mouth. You piss enough of them off, they're gonna piss enough of your future customer, and that's why Elon Musk has to remove other things to keep the cost down because they are not flying off the lot anymore. This happened. And this idea of over-promising, never delivery, and new hype. Now here's the deal. Full self-driving is very important. Everybody knows this. This is the next big thing. It will happen. So why the heck you are not in the forefront of it? Why the heck not every single Tesla engineer is working on that? Because they know they cannot deliver it. So what they do? Tesla bot, Optimus bot, hulululu. Basically same thing. That's why you do not hear about a neural link anymore. Every time he overpromises, never delivers it, and creates a new hype, sidestepping it. Every time. Look into the truck, how it happened. Looked into Roadster, how it happened. Looked into basically cars range, 1,000-mile range and all that. Every time he overpromises, never delivers that promise, and then it's like new hype. Look at this new shiny thing. Now, oh my god, the amount of people who have like so little attention span. It's like they think this is the best. I'm like, Boston Dynamic could do this decades ago. An Osmo robot that was launched, if I'm not mistaken, in a new millennium, as in 2000, year 2000 they launched it, Osmo from Honda. It had same level of dexterity. 2000. So now I'm seeing cracks where people are like, you know what, it's all fine and good that you're making these promises. Can you actually deliver anything? Because, and you reach a point where it's like, dude, you are saying this puppy is gonna have awesome AI and all that, and your car hits inside the things. Like, people are dying in your autopilot, and you have lawsuit on top of lawsuit. Now even the government is getting fed up of it. German government was the first. They were like, dude, shut up, stop saying self-driving. Now even American government is like, shut up, stop saying self-driving. So cracks are showing at this point in time. Enough people are noticing that, dude, all you do is overpromise, never deliver it, and new hype is created. Now, is there a penalty here? Because many times people will say, oh, it's a private company, it's like, who cares? It's like, here's the deal, people are losing real money and time. Here's the deal, if you claim a truck, it's not a Ferrari, it's not a Rolls Royce. It's a real thing. People are trusting their savings on it. Again, if you're a good, smart individual, you're never going to be edge case. You will be like, hey, I need a new truck in 3 years. This company is saying they're going to deliver in 1 year. Then you're going to put your money down. You're going to always have some buffer. Now, Elon Musk's buffer time is like, lol. So flat out, people are putting their money down for their cars in the early days. And then their time became lost. Money became lost. And the truck that they built, here's the deal, Hummer is also the same thing, electric Hummer. Company knows this, every engineer knows it, but they are flat out honest about this. Like, we built this to develop our skill set. This is like a big, bonkers, in your face kind of pickup truck. Why? So we can learn everything we need to learn about pickup trucks in one generation of electric vehicle, basically. And then they're going to make their own Tacoma variant of it, so to say. A basically toned down, realistic version. They know that. Elon Musk never shuts up like, this is going to change the world. It's like, dude, you have made a truck so inefficient, its range is literally worse than a petrol car, a diesel car. Like, it's bad. Why? It's super duper hyper heavy. It does not need to be that heavy. It is that heavy. So it has worst carbon footprint. For what reason? Like, genuinely, what is the reason? Oh, and one interesting, stainless steel also rusts. Now, it rusts a bit differently, but it does rust. Ask any engineer who has to deal with stainless steel scalpels that we use in surgery. Why the heck we have to throw them out? So, stainless steel, you just Google it, you will know. It's like, it's a bit different, but it's brutal. Now, Tesla Roadster, he took money, full money for second generation of it. That was the first generation. And when did that happen? That happened in 2017. He took $250,000 for this puppy. Now, I will not blame you if you have forgotten about this. And Elon Musk is relying on that you forgot about this, that he took full money in 2017. I do not even want to Google what was the delivery time at that point in time. It's like, it will be just painful. And here's the deal. Every company that is doing a business is always at the risk of going bankrupt. Now, of course, a company does their best to balance things out. So if you are like Intel, you can have like few years of lost profit and you still will be fine. You do your best to have enough buffer, so to say, enough risk management. This company is too close to the sun at this point in time. People are noticing that all of your stuff is like just not happening. And I think there was another reason why Elon Musk opened the charging standard, because he wanted that government subsidy. Why does he wanted government subsidy? Cars are not selling as they used to. Like, there are stocks available. Like, how the heck pre-order to stocks available? So there is a penalty, not only for the people who are in the Tesla club, but for other people also, because if Tesla's explosive growth, lot of pension fund went into it. A lot of mutual funds have it. Like, please make sure if you have mutual fund, please check the portfolio that it does not have Tesla stocks. So there is penalty. So many jobs and like so much wasted potential. Like if the Tesla's engineer, instead of wasting $40 billion on Twitter, he could like, hey, what if we made a, LiDAR company? They could have made solid state LiDAR for $40 billion. Be mindful, solid state LiDAR exists. It's low power right now. Heck, they could have made like hundreds of it in a car and be like, done, bro, we good. So there is penalty, time, money, loss of life, and issues. And like, okay, 2017, then people actually started asking questions like, no, we're gonna put coal gas thrusters, man, because Fast Furious was not stupid enough, man. That happened, and it's only worsening. So there is a genuine risk here. So this was my presentation on Cybertruck's delivery, or whatever they call it. Hopefully you have liked it, learned from it. In that case, please click the like button, share it amongst your friends. That will help me a lot. If you didn't like it, didn't enjoy it, I urge you to press dislike, press it twice to show me extra disappointment. Please leave a comment because I do try to reply to all of them. Subscribe, press the bell icon for free, and as always, thanks for watching.